Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the third part of the transistors. In the previous classes, we discussed about the transistor formation, transistor operation. After that, we discussed about the configuration of the transistor. So, how the transistor is configured, that means how we can connect the transistor in different ways, we discussed in the last class. So, generally the transistor can be configured in three ways: common base, common collector, common emitter. In this, we discussed about the characteristics of the each configuration. So first we discussed about the common base characteristics. Generally the characteristics of the configurations are three type: input configuration, input characteristics, output characteristics, and current transfer characteristics. We discussed about these input characteristics, output characteristics of the common base configuration. Now we try to discuss further configurations characteristics. So we know that once I try to recall that what we know that transistor is act as a amplifier. So what is the meaning of amplifier? Means whenever we are applying the weak signal to the transistor, transistor makes the strong signal without changing its frequency and phase shift. The meaning is, if you give a sound, a word that will be the sound volume will be increases, but the word does not change. Like that, the meaning is what we say that will be come, but in the higher value, higher amplitude. So that is called as the amplification. To use this transistor as an amplifier, we having the three configurations. In three configuration, which configuration will give the best amplifier action, we need to know. First we need to know. For knowing that, we need to know the behavior of the transistor when we are connected in these three configuration. Okay, to know the behavior is tell in terms of characteristics of the device. So how we can characterize the device? We characterize the device by seeing the input side, by applying some external DC voltage and how it is behaving in the input side, and in the output side applying some external DC, how it is behaving at the output side in terms of the graph sheets, in terms of the characteristics we need to draw. So after seeing them, which providing what type of advantages, what are the features having these configuration? So in the best configurations we need to choose. So we already discussed about the common base configuration, input characteristics and the output characteristics. Here we having the output having the high impedance, input having the low impedance in the common base configuration. So now we try to discuss further. Now we try to discuss about the another configuration, that is common emitter configuration. So upon completion of this topic, we would be able to understand the input characteristics of the transistor in common emitter configuration. So do you know what is the meaning of common emitter? We already discussed. Common emitter means the transistor having three terminals. So in the three terminals, what we need to do, one terminal should be kept common to the input side and output side. We need to put the one terminal to input side and output side. So that terminal is nothing but a emitter. The emitter terminal is make as a common for the input side and both output side. So that is called as a common emitter. So now what we are going to do is we try to study the behavior of the common emitter configuration. The thing is, we are connected the transistor having the three terminals. The three terminals are connected such that the emitter is common to both the input side and output side. In that connection, how the transistor is behaving. So what is the input behavior and what is the output behavior whenever we are applying the external DC voltage? Whether it is satisfying our amplification application, that is whenever we apply the signal should be strengthened at the output side. So that is the thing we try to understand from the characteristics of the device. So common emitter configuration, you can see. So what is there in the common emitter? The transistor is connected like this. Common emitter is connected. So you know already for measuring the input voltage and input current, we need the 1 voltmeter, 1 ammeter. For in the output, to measure the voltage and current, we need the 1 voltmeter and 1 ammeter. We need to provide for applying the external voltage, that is the external DC voltage only we are using, that is the nothing but DC regulated power supply, that is indicated with the voltage source with the resistor, that is a variable resistor, that is nothing but a voltage regulator or variable, you can also say that voltage supplier, it will provide the supply of the DC voltage. Now we need to identify what are the input and what are the output. So input should be not affected by the output, that's why we need to make a arrangement such that output should be constant. So what we are using here is input is the base current IB, you can see there IB, base current IB, that IB measured in terms of the ammeter IB current, and the ammeter current is grounded, so the use of the emitter current is not there in the common emitter. Voltage drop between the base to emitter is the VBE. So VBE measured in terms of volts, that is in the voltmeter. You can know that what it is. Already you know that every time the emitter base junction should be forward bias. Emitter base junction should be forward bias and collector base junction should be reverse bias. In such that way we need to apply the voltages. You can see we applied here BE, EE is the plus and minus. Plus is given to the base, minus is given to the emitter. Here also plus and minus we are given, but the direction of them should be different. We having like that. Okay, so in the output side, to measure the voltages current is here. To measure VCE, we use 1 voltmeter. The output current IC to measure in another current, that is the IC current. So the transistor is called as the current control device. Current control device. The FET is called as a voltage control device, I think so. So what we are doing is to measure the input, to understand the input characteristic or input behavior, what we are doing is we apply the VE voltage and measure the voltage and current VBE and IB in different steps, one after one, by making the one of the output parameter should be constant. The parameter is VCE. We need to put VCE constant. After making the VCE constant, what we need to do, we need to increase the supply here step by step, so that what happens, the VBE increases and the IE also, that is IB also increases. We need to take the readings in different steps of VBE and IB. After taking the values, we need to draw a graph. On the x-axis is the VBE and the y-axis is the IB. So from that graph, we analyze what happening to the input characteristics. Same way, we may also having the output characteristics. So output characteristics means we need to change the VCC only, not VEE. By changing the VCC, we need to measure the VCE and IC. So the input one parameter should be constant. The parameter is VBE is just a 0.7 voltage. It does not affect the any operation of the transistor. So what we need to use is IB. IB we need to put at constant by using the VVB. We need to put different levels. First we put the IB is 0. After that, one cycle of readings should be measured at the output side. After that, we need to increase the IB value at you can say 2 microamps or 2 milliamps, like that. So after that, one cycle of the reading should be measured. After that, again we need to increase the IB value. So this IB should be constant. Coming to the output side, we need to change VCC. VCC should be changed in step by step. We need to change in step by step. If we change step by step, what happens? The VCE and IC will be varied. We'll get the different values. These two values are put in a tabular form, and draw the graph between the VCE and IC. What we get? Then we get the one graph which represents the output behavior of the common emitter configuration. So now we try to understand and analyze those characteristics. This is a setup of the laboratory setup for the common emitter configuration. In the laboratory, we do this as one experiment, that is the study of characteristics of common emitter configuration, like that. So you can what is say keeping we try to once again theoretically understand this one. Keeping different VC values constant, VB is varied and IB is noted. You can see the input characteristics are similar to PN diode forward characteristics. As already we know that PN junction emitter base is just like the PN junction diode. The output of the PN junction is almost 0.7 only. So like that, we having the characteristics like the PN junction diode. So now we see the input characteristics of the common emitter configuration. You can see VBE taken on the x-axis and IB is taken on the y-axis. So what it representing is, you can see, so whenever we are changing the VEE, what happens? VBE changes slowly 0.4, 0.5, 0.6 until 0.5. There should not having any IB current. IB current is 0, almost all 0. So after reaching the 0.5, the IB current starts slowly. Again you are increasing the voltage at the VEE. The voltage energy is converted into the IB current. Like that, you see, just like the PN junction diode, after cut-in voltage only, the diode is conducting. Like that, after cut-in voltage only, the IB current is increases. Again you can see if you increases VCE value 0, 1 volts, 2 volts, so on, what happen means VCE increases at the output side. That can be adjusted by using the VCC supply voltage. So what happening means the maximum value of IB will be slowly getting in the width of the VCE 0, we are getting very fastly. But if VCE increases the IB maximum value, to get the IB maximum value take most of the voltage, that is a 0.8, like that, the maximum voltage should be needed to get the maximum of IB current. IB is in terms of the milliamps, and base to emitter is in terms of the voltage. So now we try to analyze the following information. The following information is observed from the input characteristics. What we observed: there exists a threshold or knee voltage, already we said, below which the IB is very small. We can know that the diode having a threshold voltage or knee voltage, you need to remember this a specific point, that is the knee voltage or threshold voltage. Below threshold voltage there is a very small IB. Beyond the knee voltage, the IB increases with increasing in VBE for a constant VCE. If we increases VBE, automatically IB also increases. That is shown in the characteristic graph. So generally you can say that input characteristics of the common emitter is nothing but the graph between the VBE and IB. The graph between the VBE and IB when VCE is constant. When VCE is constant is called as a characteristics of the common emitter configuration. You need to remember that. So however, the slope of these curves is less when compared with that of input characteristics of the common base transistor. So in the common base transistor, the slopes are very somewhat high compared to this common emitter. Common emitter having a slope is very less. Sharply it is achieving its maximum value after applying that. So it means the input resistance of the CE transistor higher than that of the common base transistor. The input transistor of the common emitter is higher than that of the common base transistor. Common base having the less amount of input resistance, that is the delta VBE by delta IB, that is taken from the readings. Delta VB, you can see delta VBE x-axis, delta IB on the y-axis. That gives the input resistance of the characteristics we have. Okay, so next, as the VC increases above 1 volt, the curve shift downwards. What happening is here? This is one of the another phenomena. If the VC is increases above 1 volt, you can see above 1 volt, the slope is slowly decreasing. The curves shift down. The curves shift downs. Can we guess why it happens? Because of the base width modulation. Because of the base width modulation. So what happening means, what is the base width modulation means? What is the meaning of base width modulation means? We increasing the negative biasing at the collector junction side. Whenever we are increasing the negative biasing, what happens? The depletion layer is increases at the collector junction. Depletion region increases, and the depletion layer is penetrated into the base region. What happens? Base region is a very small thin layer. Already it is thin. Again the depletion layer is enter into the base region. What happened? Ultimately the number of charge carriers in the base is decreases. So like that, VCE is increases. What happens? The charge carriers decreases. Or to get that amount of charge carriers, it needs the more supply voltage. So that's why the curve is shift downwards. The curve is shifting downwards after after increasing the VC in the output side. So this is the because of the base width modulation. The meaning is the base width is increasing. So that's why it happens. Now we try to discuss about the output characteristics of a transistor in common emitter configuration. So after this, you need to understand the common emitter configuration behavior. So same diagram we have output characteristics. You can see there. So output characteristics of the common emitter transistor you can also define like this. The relation between IC and VCE keeping IB constant is called output characteristics of common emitter transistor. Not only like that, we can also say that the graph between the characteristics graph between the VCE and IB, VCE and IC, VCE and IC at the output side when IB is constant. When the IB is constant, is called as a common emitter configuration. Is called the output characteristics curves of CE transistor can be obtained using the circuit arrangement shown in the figure. Already we seen the C figure, output characteristics VCE and IC. First what we try to understand what we need to do is first make IB is 0 by IB base current is 0 by adjusting the VBB. For make IB is 0 by adjusting the VBB, there are no injected carriers in the base. There are no injected carriers in the base. Practically no IC, but collector leakage current ICO will flow due to thermal generated carriers. Practically no IC, but collector leakage current ICO will flow due to thermal generated carriers. For a particular value of IB, say 40 microamps, as VCE increases, IC increases linearly up to point. Further increase in VCE results in nominal increase in ICE. So see the graph between the VCE and IC. VCE is measured in terms of volt, ICE is measured in terms of milliamps, but IB, you see, IB measured in terms of microamps. IB we need to have the what we need to have is microammeter we need to have in the input side. In the input characteristics we use the multimeter, that is what is you can say milliammeter. Now we need to use the microammeter. We need to understand and we need to keep that only, otherwise we don't get any reading. So slowly increasing that, initially IB value is 0. What happened means we get we get the what you say we get the characteristic curve at the 40 microamps. Is here the level, the height of the collector current is increases, achieving the maximum current is increasing. Next coming to the 80 microamps, if the IB is 80 microamps, so then the height you can see, then the what you say, then the current level is, you can see, increasing at the 20 milliamps. the curve appeared across the 20 milliamperes. The meaning is that much of amount is increasing in the input energy. If you give this type of voltage like that, we are getting the 120 milliamps for a particular value of IB 40 microamps. As VCE increases, IC increases linearly up to a point. Further increase in VCE result in nominal increase in IC. So this is a characteristic curve. This is specifically showing the what are the different regions: cutoff region, active region, saturation region. You can say what is like this, all those things. So what the cutoff region says that in this VCE is in reverse bias, as well as that VBE also in reverse bias. VCE reverse bias and VBE also reverse bias. VCE reverse bias and VBE also reverse bias. So we are having like that. So that's why it is called a cutoff region. Both the junctions are in reverse bias. That's why it is called as a cutoff region. Okay. So next we are having the active region. You can see active region. It is in the emitter junction is forward bias. That is the PN junction of that is forward bias, and remaining that is in the reverse bias. So what it makes that whatever the voltage we are applying at the output side, that voltage affect to the input side such that it makes the input is forward bias, as already know the output is reverse bias. So these characteristics we are getting. The next is the saturation. The saturation means what happened, the meaning is both the junctions are in the forward bias. Emitter junction and collector junction, both the junctions are in forward bias. So that is the meaning, both the junctions are in forward bias. What happens means the voltage whatever we applied at the collector junction, it becomes the forward bias. Note that on the characteristics of figure, the magnitude of IB is in microamps compared to milliamperes of IC. You try to note that on the characteristics of figure, the magnitude of IB is in microamps compared to milliamperes of IC. The curves of IB are not as horizontal as those obtained for IE in CB configuration. The curves for the different IB values, those are not horizontal, not flat compared to the common base. So why? Because what it indicates that VCE will influence the magnitude of ICE. VCE is influence the ICE, but in the common base there is no VBE influence on the output characteristics, but if the VCE is influence the magnitude of the IC. So why we need this one means, whenever you want to choose a particular point to operate the transistor, whenever you want to operate a transistor in a particular voltage level and current level, you need to see VC changes, it also change the characteristics such that you need to take a minimal point at the characteristics curve. So now we can see the slope of that one output resistance is 1 by slope V delta VCE by delta IC. So moderately high. So what it indicates, the output is moderately high, but in the common base it is low. The common base, the output resistance is low. So now we try to discuss the regions. So now we try to discuss the regions of the common emitter configuration. So main thing what we needed is we need only output characteristics generally. So output only decide whether it is giving our actual required amplified value or not, such that we choose the operating point for the transistor. So what is the meaning of the operating point? Operating point is nothing but in which voltage or in which current the transistor is act as our required device. So that voltages and currents are called as the operating point. We need to choose the better operating point. Why? Because transistor should act as an amplifier in the total characteristics. If the signal may change the active this active biasing, it should not affect the output. We need to get the we need to get the a truthful output we need to get. So for that purpose we need to choose the operating point properly in the middle of the characteristics. So now you can see the what are the three regions we have. Generally we having the configuration having the three regions: active region, saturation region, cutoff region. Three regions are there. Now we can try to see. Already you know the what is active region, all those things. So now you see how it is. Common emitter means emitter terminal is common. NPN transistor input and output. So input signal is going there. The output characteristics of C configuration, you see the regions in the specified in the characteristic diagram is here. Below IB equal to 0 is the cutoff region. In the between the IC horizontal line and this one is the saturation region. The line between this saturation and cutoff is called as the active region. That region which we need actually. We can observe the three regions, active, saturation, cutoff regions in the output characteristics. First, what is active region? So properties of the active region: IC increases slowly as VCE is increases. Compared to common base output characteristics, the slope of these curves is more. Compared to the common base, the output characteristic slope of these curves is more. The output resistance ROE is not as large as ROB. So common base having the larger output, but it does not having the larger output, it having the moderate output. The DC current gain increases with the VCE. The current gain beta, output current by input current, is increases when we change the VCE. So these are the active region properties and active region thing. So now saturation region. The collector current no longer depends upon the input current IB. That region is called as a saturation region. The collector current no longer depends upon the input current IB. That region is called a saturation region. Cutoff region. The collector current IC is not 0 when IB is 0. It has a value of ICEO as shown in figure. The leakage current ICEO is a quite high of the order of a few hundred microamperes. The leakage current ICEO is a quite high of the order of a few hundred microamperes. That region is called as a cutoff region. So these are about the characteristics of common emitter configuration. We discussed about the input characteristics and output characteristics. Input resistance and output resistance. Input resistance is moderately high, output resistance is moderately high. The input resistance is somewhat low compared to the common base, and we having the regions: active region, cutoff region, and saturation region. So now next we try to discuss about the another one: alpha, beta, gamma factors. So these are called as the current gains in the three configuration. So what amount of current is gaining? What amount of current is gaining from these three configuration? Common emitter configuration, common base configuration, common configuration, and common collector configuration. The common collector configuration is as like the common emitter configuration only. That's why we are not going to discuss about the common emitter configuration. Generally we use only two configurations, three. Common collector also we can use, but this is used for the impedance matching purposes we are using. So we discuss in the later section about this one. So now we try to discuss about the alpha, beta, and gamma. These are called as a current gains. What is the meaning of current gain? What amount of current, the input current gain in the configuration is called as a current gain. So now we try to discuss and analyze in what configuration we are getting the best voltage gain, current gain, and the resistances, input and output resistances we are getting. We try to discuss now. So this is called as a current alpha amplification factor is also called as a current gain. So I already said current gain is also called as a current amplification factor. How much current is amplified? How much amount of current is amplified? That is called as a current amplification factor. So BJT transistor will have three values of the current gains when it is connected in three configurations separately. Bipolar junction transistor having the three current gains or three current amplification factors when it is connected in three configurations separately. So in common base configuration, the current gain is known as the alpha. Common base alpha is nothing but the current gain or current amplification factor in the common base. So that is indicated by common base. Next, the in common emitter configuration, the current gain is known as the beta. Beta is the common emitter. Gamma is the common collector configuration. Gamma is the common collector configuration. Now we try to discuss the alpha and beta. So what is the alpha? Alpha is the common base. Common base is base current is grounded. The remaining is the emitter current and the collector current. You try to understand like this. You always picturize the configuration. What happening there? In the configuration, what happening? We need to picturize in your mind so that we can easily write the equation. See, common base is there already. Common base is common for both input. The base common means the current is grounded. The base current is grounded. Remaining is the common emitter and the common emitter current and the collector current. So the collector junction always in the output side. Yes or no? Yes. The collector current is always in the output side. The emitter is in the input side. So the amplification factor is nothing but output by input. Output is the collector current, input is the base input is the emitter current. That is the IC by IE is nothing but a alpha. You see, alpha is defined as the ratio of change in collector current to the change in the emitter current at constant VCB. It is defined as the ratio of change in collector current to the change in the emitter current at constant VCB. So alpha equal to delta IC by delta IE, neglecting the leakage current when VCB is constant. So what is the meaning? VCB means where we are getting the VCB at the output side. We need to make the VCB is constant. So that is called as the delta IC by delta IE, alpha. The value of alpha can be found from output characteristics of common base configuration. Since the value of IE is, that is nothing but alpha equal to IC by IE. IC is always less than the value of IE, because IE is the emitted current, IC is the collected current. So always IC is in more. IE equal to IB plus IC. We know that IE equal to IB plus IC. So the value we can guess, that is nothing but alpha is less than 1. That is, since the value of IC is always less than the value of IE, the value of alpha is always less than 1. Its typical value lies between 0.9 to 0.99. You can try to simply understand why it is less than 1 means, simply the alpha means common base. Common base means base is common. Base is common means remaining two currents, IC and IE. IC always at the output side. So IC by IE. So IE is always higher because IE equals to IC plus IB. So IE is greater than IC. So when the denominator higher value is there, that should be less than 1 always. There should be less than always 1. So that's why the value is 0.9 to 0.0. Next one is the beta. So beta is, the beta is defined in the common emitter configuration. Beta is defined in the common emitter means emitter is common, so IE is neglected. Remaining is IB and IC. The IC is the output, IB is the input. So that is nothing but beta is equal to IC by IB. It is defined as the ratio of change in collector current to change in base current. Collector current to the base current at a constant VCE. So the beta equals to delta IC by delta IB. Delta IC by delta IB. VCE is constant. So value of beta, how can you can say the value of beta? So simply we can say that the value of beta can be found output characteristics of C configuration. You can see what is a IC by IB. IB is a very small base current. It is in the microamps. IC is in the milliamps. So if the denominator is low value, the ratio is very high. So that the value of beta can be founded from output characteristics of CE configuration. Since the value of IB is very small, compared to the IC in microamps and milliamps, the value of beta is very high. A value of beta is very high. It is typical value is lies between 15 to few hundred. The value is between 15 to few hundred values. That's why the current amplification factor of the common emitter is very high. Current amplification of the common emitter is very high compared to the common base. This is one of the feature of the common emitter. Already two features already we discussed. That is the input resistance. Input resistance of the common emitter is also less compared to the common base. Output high. Input resistance is high compared to the output common base. Output resistance is not high, it is moderately high compared to the common base. These are the needed for the best amplification. Best amplification means whatever the signal we are amplified, that should be get the stable and truthful output. What you say, we can say that I believe that should be sustainable, that should be sustainable output. The next one is the gamma. So gamma is the amplification factor which is in the common collector. It is defined as the ratio of the change in the emitter current to the change in the base current at constant VC. Emitter to base current. This is also a very high value, I think so. Why? Because the emitter and this one. So delta IE by delta IB, the VCC is constant. Delta IE by delta IB means most style. What is the value of this one? What is the value of this one? Value of gamma can be found from output characteristics of common collector configurations. Is the value of IB is very small in comparison to IE. So the value of gamma is very high, greater than beta. Gamma is very high. Gamma value is very high compared to the beta value. So that's why common collector current amplification is very high. So like this we discussed about alpha, beta and gamma of the alpha, beta, gamma. So in the next class we try to discuss about the relation between the alpha, beta and gamma. So in this class what we discussed is we discussed about the common emitter configuration, input output characteristics, and the regions, active region, saturation region and cutoff regions in the common emitter configuration, output characteristics. And also we discussed about the definition of alpha, beta, gamma, where we are getting alpha, beta, gamma. Alpha is from the common base configuration, beta is from the common emitter configuration, and gamma is from the common collector configuration. So these alpha, beta, gammas are called as the current amplification factors or current gain of particular configuration. The meaning is, if you connect the transistor in this different configuration, we get the different current amplification factor or current gain factor. So in the beta is nothing but in the alpha, first it is the alpha is less than 1, 0.9 to 0.991 alpha. The beta is greater than 50 to 500, greater than 50 to 500. Coming to gamma is very higher value compared to beta. So like this we are getting the alpha, beta, gamma, and we need to have the relation between the alpha, beta, gamma. Why? Because every transistor gives the current amplification factor of beta will provided by the manufacturers. If you know the beta, what is the alpha, what is the gamma, we need to know. When we know the value is whenever we get the relation between the alpha, beta and gamma. So these remaining topics are we discussed in the next class. Okay, thank you.